On this episode of Cape Media News, we celebrate the best of summer and share a special back-to-school message from your school district superintendents. Here are the stories you loved and more. This is Cape Media News. This is Cape Media News, your local authentic newscast for Cape Cod. I'm Gabrielle Rosson.
And I'm Emily Tullock. Thank you for joining us.
Well, it seems that summer has come and gone already. The kids are back in school and most of our tourists have returned home. But for many locals, the start of September is a wonderful time to reflect upon and enjoy all that is Cape Cod.
This summer, Cape Media News brought you a variety of news stories that focus on our local economy and the environment. But we also brought you stories about arts and culture and the amazing work local organizations are doing to improve and enrich the lives of others here on Cape Cod.
While there were many stories you told us you loved, a certain few seemed to stand out above the rest. We bring you those stories as well as a special message at the end of today's program from your local superintendents who are all excited to welcome your kids back to school. More on that later. But first, let me introduce you to the face behind the voice you've come to know and love, my right-hand woman in the field, Miss Emily Tullock.
Hello, Gabby. I'm happy to be here.
And we're very happy to have you. Emily, your first assignment was a story that went viral for Cape Media News. You reported on the Cape Playhouse, who was celebrating their 93rd season. Tell us about that.
Well, the Cape Playhouse, where Broadway goes to summer, has a history as the longest-running professional summer theater in the country. Now, this was my first segment for Cape Media News, so of course I was nervous, but I think that the story came out pretty good.
It came out great. Emily's story was a fan favorite on Facebook. Let's take a look.
There's a giant, man-eating, song-singing plant on the loose in Dennis this summer. The Cape Playhouse, where theater goes to summer, has begun a new season full of entertainment, culture, art, and community outreach. Currently on stage is Little Shop of Horrors. Located off of 6A in Dennis, the Cape Playhouse neighbors the Cape Cinema and Cape Cod Museum. Since its foundation in 1927, the Cape Playhouse has withstood 93 historic seasons. But how did it all begin?
Raymond Moore, when he founded this place, I think he was 27, and at 27 he thought, you know what, there's this gorgeous building in town. I'm going to pick that up and I'm going to move it over to this plot of land, and I am going to build gardens out here, and I am going to build a playhouse, and I'm going to turn what was a town hall building, many different things happened in that building, and I'm going to turn it into a theater. And that is so visionary to me.
Since then, actors such as Julie Andrews, Betty White, Henry Fonda, and Betty Davis have graced the stage with their talent. Producing artistic director of the Playhouse, Michael Rader, says its rich history and longevity in reputation contributes to their success.
The Playhouse has 93 years of incredible history and incredible legacy, and as the artistic director, it's a little cliche for me to say that this is a special or magical place, but it really is. I mean, we have people who come back every year as actors or directors or designers or production staff who leave other jobs to come here. There's not many theaters left in the world that have the history and the legacy of this institution. And because of that history, because of our reputation within the community, the theater community, people love working here. It sounds a little cliche to say it, but it almost is like sacred ground when you think of all the individuals who have worked on this stage before. It's just a really special place.
Along with providing a variety of shows, the Cape Playhouse focuses on giving back to the community with outreach programs and education.
One of my first orders was bringing back the educational and outreach programming that hadn't been happening for many, many years at the Playhouse. Part of the original design of the Playhouse 93 years ago was an education and community outreach program. It means a lot to me that we're able to do this and give back to the community, and that this is something that every year that we've had this happening, it's grown in size, almost doubled in size since it started, and we're going to keep moving forward. We're going to have production-driven classes, so at the end of the week the kids will do a performance. We've had a lot of members of the community also ask about adult classes, so we want to introduce that. And then another element that Joe and I are really passionate about is having programming that helps develop new pieces of work, new pieces of theater.
On the docket this season are 6 plays that run for 2 weekends each. Every set is built on site. So, what does the future for the Cape Playhouse look like?
I see great potential in the Playhouse and the campus as a whole. I would love years to come that there is a campus committee and we get together in the beginning of every year and we scramble over which weekends each person gets to take up because there's so much happening here over the summer. I would love for this place to be just a destination for every family on the Cape. Every person who wants to experience the arts, celebrate the arts, or just have a wonderful day. I would love for them to think of this as the first place that they can come to celebrate the summer, basically.
This Playhouse belongs to you. It always has and it always will. And I want everyone in the community to feel like they can come by at any time, see the Playhouse, go backstage, see one of our shows, come to the gala. I'm here because I've worked all over the world and there are very few places like this left. And I feel very passionate about the Playhouse and about the potential and the future here. And I couldn't be more excited about what lies for the next 93 years.
For ticket prices, more information on volunteer positions, backstage tours, and children's classes, visit the Cape Playhouse website. In Dennis, for Cape Media News, I'm Emily Tullock.
And the Cape Playhouse wrapped its 2019 summer season last weekend. You can check out their 2020 lineup of plays and performances at capeplayhouse.com.
Up next, we remember a very special wedding.
When it's time for me to replace items that I use every day that contain mercury, I try to remember some very important things. Throwing out items that contain mercury is harmful to the environment. Actually, it's simple and easy to collect and recycle them safely. I can go online and visit mass.gov/DEP to find out a proper mercury disposal location nearest me. Such a small amount of effort really can make a huge difference. Keep mercury contained and out of our environment. Visit mass.gov/DEP for more information.
Welcome back to Cape Media News. I'm Gabrielle Rosson.
And I'm Emily Tullock.
There's probably no better place on earth to get married than Cape Cod. Our scenic waterways and beaches and lush natural trails and forests provide some of the most perfect backdrops for exchanging nuptials.
That's why when Cape Media News heard that a very special wedding was planned between two of Latham Center's therapy donkeys, we just had to get the story. Gabby, you covered the story and it was a fan favorite.
It was, and that's not really surprising when you think about it. I mean, donkeys getting married, I just had to see for myself. We aired this story in May just as wedding season was getting started. Take a look. It's wedding season on Cape Cod. Donkey wedding season if you're Esther and Esau, two of Latham Center's therapy donkeys, who got hitched for a cause earlier this month.
We are very excited to be hosting our donkey wedding. This is a celebration and fundraiser to support Latham Center's Asinotherapy program, which is our therapeutic donkey program. It's an extension of our vocational and supplemental therapeutic programming. They may have lived together a little bit before the big day, but they have been sweethearts for over 7 years.
In my tenure as CEO, I've been asked to do a lot of things, but I never imagined that I would be asked to officiate at the marriage of two donkeys.
The proceeds from today go to our Asinotherapy program, which is a donkey therapy program that we have for our residents, adult residents, and our students at Latham Centers.
People know more and more it's no longer the question of what happens behind the hedges, right, on 6A. The question is, who are our students, who are our adults, what are they doing on Cape Cod, and what do you do as a program? And seeing all the support from everyone, from banks to restaurants to beauty supply companies, it's incredible and it warms my heart, honestly.
The Latham Center's Asinotherapy program provides innovative donkey therapy to students and adults with Prader-Willi syndrome, a somewhat rare genetic condition that affects metabolism, cognitive function, and behavior.
They can get certified in caring for the donkeys. They learn how to brush them and feed them and take care of their hooves. They do some training with them. And so there's a therapeutic component, but then there's also a vocational component.
So we do a lot of student activities and community activities, and it's great for our students to be benefited in any way possible so they can have more access to activities and things like that.
We have the individuals come over every day. They come over and they give them their lunch or their breakfast or their dinner, and they groom them. They exercise them, they walk them around, and they love them.
Esther, do you take Esau to be your lawfully wedded donkey? To have and to hold, to love and to cherish, in abundant carrots and in relatively few carrots, till death do you part. What's that? You do, of course you do.
The Latham Center's donkey therapy has made a positive impact on the lives of the families they serve.
So our brother Michael is a graduate of the Latham Centers and works with the donkeys and has for a long time. Michael came up here 10 years ago, and his participation in the Latham Centers has really changed our whole life. The staff and the support and the structure that he's received has really made our entire life possible, and he's the kid he is today because of them. So we really can't say enough.
Yeah, they gave him a safe and loving environment where he could really flourish in a way that we just couldn't, and it's just been amazing for our family.
Well, Latham, the kids, especially my mom, taught handicapped kids her whole life, and I volunteered a lot, and I think it's just a great program.
My son has Asperger's, and working with Latham is kind of my way of giving back to the community.
The fact that we have over 200 people here is just astounding. The response from the community has been better than we ever could have anticipated.
Esther and Esau's wedding ceremony took place at Taylor Bray Farm in Yarmouthport. To follow their love story, visit lathamcenters.org. For Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rosson. And the Latham Center tells us Esther and Esau are doing better than ever and even honeymooned in Paris. To learn more about that and their asinotherapy program, visit lathamcenters.org.
Up next, a summer storm to remember.
Some things never change. Even when we have to replace a light bulb. But when it comes to throwing away mercury-containing CFL bulbs, which save us money, the improper disposal of these bulbs can contribute to the release of mercury and carry a hefty price tag for the environment. For more information, visit keepmercuryfromrising.org.
Welcome back to Cape Media News. I'm Emily Tullock.
And I'm Gabrielle Rosson.
Earlier this summer, something truly remarkable happened. Multiple tornadoes touched ground on Cape Cod, taking out power lines and trees and displacing many of our residents and tourists during the height of tourist season.
It was originally believed that 2 tornadoes touched ground, but the National Weather Service later confirmed that there were 3 individual touchdowns, one in Barnstable, Yarmouth, and another in Harwich. I happened to be here at Cape Media News headquarters when the tornado touched ground. Emily, where were you that day?
I was home with my husband and sister, and we actually had to hide in my hallway because I had no basement.
That's really scary. Same here, we lost power. Field reporter Ivan Rambajan braved the summer storm to bring us footage of the aftermath. Let's watch.
Two known tornadoes impacted the Mid-Cape area on Tuesday, July 23rd.
We heard wind. We could feel underneath the doors. The wind was coming right through the windows from the bedrooms. TV went out first. We couldn't see the news girl anymore. And then the electricity went out.
The first touched down west of Calamus Beach and traveled through West Yarmouth around noon. It blew the roof off the Cape Sands Inn before making a second touchdown in Harwich. "100-mile-an-hour winds were reported all across Cape, with Dennis and Chatham sustaining heavy damage.
So my neighbor's tree came down, and then the branch broke off and shattered the picture glass window in the front, and then the glass came in the house, so just cut me, but we had to clean up all the water, so. was insane. We were watching the news and then the power went out and we knew that it was coming this way, and then the kids went in the back bedroom, and then all of a sudden the tree came down, we heard it come down, and then the front window, a branch broke off it through the front window.
According to Eversource, around 90,000 Cape properties lost power. They worked to restore power, starting in the heavily impacted areas first. Harwich was hit the hardest. Only 7% were left with power. DY High School in the Harwich Community Center quickly set up emergency shelters for those affected by power outages Tuesday evening. Libraries and other businesses provided spaces to charge electronics or grab a hot meal during the days that followed. Agway of Cape Cod is partnering with Brewster Animal Care and Adoption Center to provide affected families with pet supplies for those in need. Eversource crews will continue to work around the clock until all power has been restored. In Dennis, for Cape Media News, I'm Emily Tullock.
And a look at the 10-day forecast tells us that we're in good shape for the time being. Hopefully we won't see another tornado for a very long time.
I sure hope not. Well, much to their displeasure, the kids are now back in school. The Barnstable Public School District started classes Wednesday, August 28th, and both the Dennis Yarmouth Regional and Monomoy Regional School Districts return Tuesday, September 3rd.
Because we know going back to school can be rough, we reached out to your local superintendents to ask them to share a special message to help kick off the 2019-2020 school year. Here's what they had to say.
Hey Monomoy family, Scott Carpenter here, your superintendent, wishing you a wonderful new school year. We've got a great fleet of new school buses to transport the kids to school. We've got a wonderful new science curriculum taking place at our elementary schools. We'll be seeing history through the Hamilton musical at the middle school. High school, we're going to be seeing AP Computer Science, expansion of our Project Citizen in 8th grade, and don't forget our Shark Sports. So go Sharks, have a great year. Look forward to seeing you soon in the halls.
Hi, I'm Carol Woodbury. I'm the superintendent at Dennis Yarmouth Regional School District, and I'm here today with my friend Phineas. Phineas is very excited about going back to school, and he asked me to come up here today so he could tell me why. So Phineas, tell me a little bit about some of these things that you brought. Oh, Phineas, I get it. You love learning. Do you know that dolphins are some of the smartest animals around? And we work really hard at Dennis Yarmouth to make sure that all the academics are covered and that kids really learn a lot. That's fantastic. What else do you have over here? Oh, yes, of course, the arts. We have an award-winning marching band, and you can see some of the trophies over there, and an award-winning color guard. So let's get involved in music. That's fun. We have the arts all the way up from pre-kindergarten through grade 12, and so many of our students have won Scholastic Globe, Silver Keys, Gold Keys, and honorable mentions over the years. It's fantastic. Let's walk over here so we can see what else you have. Here we have field hockey and also football, but we offer a lot of sports. Staying physically fit is super important. And so again, from pre-kindergarten through grade 12, our kids participate in physical education and also health. And that helps them to stay physically fit while they're learning. What were you saying, Phineas? Tell me again. Friends. Why friends? Yes, school is about making friends and building great relationships. Relationships among your peers and relationships with the staff. We pride ourselves on giving kids a well-rounded school experience. We can't wait for our kids to come back and take advantage of the DY advantage.
Bob Sanborn, Superintendent from Cape Cod Regional Technical High School, excited to start are over 40 years of vocational technical education on Cape Cod, here in beautiful Harwich, Massachusetts. And I want to welcome the parents of our students. I want to welcome the students themselves. I want to welcome our parents back to the community known as the Cape Cod Tech family. We started school on the 26th, and we're in our second week of programming. We're excited as we build a new school at the same time, and we look at 7th and 8th grade students in our district to come on over and see the new facility and learn what Cape Cod Tech is all about. To our 9th graders, enjoy exploratory, enjoy the learning experience and career exploration. And 10th and 11th and 12th graders, welcome back. 12th graders thinking about the next option, whether it's college, career, and beyond. And 10th and 11th graders charting that course as well. Welcome back. We escaped the sharks for another year.
We look forward to seeing those smiling faces in the hallways.
Have a great 2019-2020 school year, everyone.
Well, that was really nice, wasn't it?
It sure was.
Almost makes me want to be a kid again.
No.
Well, that brings our special Best of Summer Back to School episode of Cape Media News to a close.
Please be sure to follow us on Facebook, and thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode.
With Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rosson.
And I'm Emily Tullock.